Oh, hello people, welcome to another review. This time, as I expect you can see, it's the Accurate Armour Alvis Stalwart Mark II. I've got a particular fondness for these vehicles, as when I was a kid we used to have the local carnival in a park near where I lived in London, and one year the army were there and they were giving rides in the back of these over all this rough ground over the back of the park. I'm surprised no kids fell out. In fact, soon after I had my ride, I went back for another go and they'd stopped giving rides because part of the mechanism that held the sides secure had been broken by all the kids. I can just imagine health and safety allowing that today, obviously pre HSE. Anyway, it was good fun. It was only a couple of minutes ride, but ever since then I've wanted to build a model of one. Always wanted an injection molded one, but there aren't any, well, none that I've found. So this is a complete resin kit with a few extra details and other bits and pieces. So I thought I'd give you a quick unboxing, and I bought this recently as it looks like they're going out of production for a while because I only had a few left. They also do a Mark 1 and they also do a kind of Remy version with an arm, a hydraulic arm crane on it, which I wanted, but they were completely out of that one. But I just thought I'd do this one. Anyway, let's get the box open. Obviously I have looked in this. You've got the instructions first, got a little bag of bits we'll come back to later. That one, I'll have to edit that out so you can't see my address, but yes, we'll trim that bit. Lots of nice tasteless Wotsits we'll throw in the box lid, so bear with me a second while I do that. Funny enough, you use these sort of things in carp fishing as part of a marker. You can wrap them around the hook and they eventually dissolve in the water and float to the surface, and you know roughly where your hook is, so when you throw bait out you can place your bait accurately. So quite a weird thing. I think that's what I was for. Anyway, let's get the worst of it out. Okay, let's get all the bits out. And we can just turn those back there. Okay. So, as I said, a complete resin kit. In here you've got the main hull and the sides. So as you can see, you've got quite a lot of detail moulded on there. Obviously you've got to trim all this off. It looks nice and straight. It's quite a substantial casting. More details on the back of it there. Trying to keep my eyes on the phone as well, which is being recorded from my GoPro. And there's the load bed, which was a corrugated affair. That's the bit that you've got to cut out that actually goes in there. So this is all the moulding gate that's got to be taken off. That is the sheet pole that goes along the top in the middle of the body. Again, there's more resin in the sprue than there is in the part. These are the two sides, all very nicely moulded. Well, there's a little bubble there. I haven't seen many bubbles in the parts. Really nicely moulded. So that's those bits. And there's lots and lots and lots of little bits in here. Seems to be more bits than you can actually account for. I'm not going to profess to know them all. I believe that is something to do with the load separator. Lots of tiny little bits there. Again, I'm not going to go through them all because I don't know what they are. I mean, look how fine some of these bits are here. Goodness knows how I'm going to get those off. This could well sit on the shelf for a while. I'll try and bring this up. I hope it comes into a kind of focus. This is one of the kind of suspension support arms where the wheels go, complete with, you can see the drive shaft, half shaft in the end there, because it was 6-wheel drive. So I think these here could be battery boxes, because I know there's some in there. This looks like something out of a Games Workshop, like a load of skulls or something. It's just called stowage. I think it's just bits and pieces. So I won't go through all these little bits, but I believe these are more of the drive suspension steering arms. So they have 4-wheel steering, 6-wheel drive, and the kit is actually designed to show the wheels with about 3/4 lock on apparently. So as you can see, you've got more of the suspension units with a moulding block on the end. Push those to on this side. Wheels and the cab unit. Let's see if we can get them out. I've got them in there. Okay, so you've got the wheels, no writing on them. Don't know if the real ones did. Very slight flat spot at the bottom to simulate the weight, but again, superb moulding. I don't know how close I can get to this. Hopefully that's in focus with all the wheel nut detail and hub detail. Obviously not so much on the inside. 6 of those, thank goodness. Bit of flash to be expected with a resin kit. Nice lot of rivet detail around the windows. I believe one of the major differences between the Mark 1 and 2 was they angled the window down for better vision. I think the old ones just went straight across on the Mark 1s. Interior detail as well. Then this is the last bag of castings. Again, that goes up against the cab, I believe. Not exactly sure what this is, whether it's a radiator or something. Not sure. Tailgate, or was that the load separator? That could be the load separator. Yeah, that's the tailgate. And then this bit actually was kind of like that at the back, where the exhaust pipes ran. More castings, obviously. Shouldn't have to say that. Hatches for the roofs. The driver sat in the middle. You've got suspension dampers, more steering parts. Assume that's part of the cab floor. Very nicely moulded, as I keep saying. I want to keep these separate so I don't put them all back in different bags, not that it really matters. Then bits of flash all over me. In here we have some styrene strip for making I'll show you on the instructions, for making these vertical and horizontal pieces. I'll run you through the instructions quickly later. So you've got a sheet of etch, what looks like a wiper blade on there, various grills, lots of bits to stick to yourself, and the Alvis badge that goes on the swim board at the front. So very good. One thing I did like was the lights. Kind of small injection, or I don't know if those one. I guess no, I think they're resin, but they're pre-coloured. Rather nice little touch. No glazing supplied though. I believe these are bolt details on here. Don't know how close the GoPro will go. I'll turn the old hand under and hopefully it may focus on that. So God knows how I'm going to do those. They are minute. And then there's some laser cut headlight guards, which are very fine, very nicely done. Almost coming off, so I'm going to put that straight back in the bag. Not sure what the thread's for. There may be a winch on it, I don't know. So, and a sheet of decals with various registration plates and a few presumably like unit markings. I'm not very up on all this. And some instrument decals, and they're badly printed. Right, mustn't lose that one damper that's come off. Okay, instructions. Right, there's not a lot of them, but there's sufficient to build it. It starts off with a few hints. about cutting them. I don't really say that resin's horrible stuff and will kill you once you breathe a bit of it in, but it just says when sanding or cutting, cut it wet so it minimises dust. If this is not possible, use a good quality face mask. Well, I do. Didn't see that. So as you can see, you start by sticking these damper units on that are moulded in one bit, I think. Then the suspension units, torsion bar. Don't know what all the parts are. There's not much text to it. Hopefully you can see all this because the camera lags. Get a quick read of those. More suspension parts, putting the lights in. The Doughty, whatever it was called, it was like a jet drive at the back here where it squirted the water out when it was in the water. Exhaust pipes. Carrying on, the load divider I was mentioning, you can see it here. This is where you cut the strip. They give you the spacings and the dimensions you need, which makes it quite easy. I think this is silencer, bit of etch over the top, more tiny etch parts on the back, and on to build the cab interior. And as you can see here, the driver, as I said, sat in the middle, so I presume that's why they elongated the windows to give him a bit of better view. You can build it with the swim board extended or in the retracted position. I think that's just to prevent splash up onto the windscreen when it went into the water. And it goes on about what colours it was painted. When they first came out, they were deep bronze. And they had the NATO scheme, which had black on it, which was always on the corners apparently, with various stripes. And a couple more pictures of the finished model, a little bit about the airline, and I assume it could tow air brakes to trailers. I don't know how they actually were braked. And then just on the back page is a listing of all the parts. So yeah, quite a lot of it. Rifle racks, wiper motors, seatbelt inertia reel, just to name a few bits. Yeah, the jet drive is just put down here as a Doughty outlet and a Doughty inlet. So I believe a good few years ago there was a series called Salvage Squad where they helped people restore their big items to running condition. I believe one of them featured a Stalwart, and they showed it running because I believe these things got quite hot, and they're running it at night and the exhaust is glowing red hot up by the silencer. So I do believe it suffered from overheating problems at some point in its life. It's two different radio sets, a Larkspur and a Klansman. Means nothing to me. I just enjoy building models. Anyway guys, whenever I get round to building this, I'll post a few pictures. To be honest, it terrifies me, but I bought it in case it never comes back into production again. So I'm sure it will at one point. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little review of the Accurate Armour Stalwart. Catch you later guys. Bye.